Sewn right and phenomenal rep, absolutely bulldozes the defensive tackle, gets low and explodes in his hips well, and drive, 5 yards downfield, really good gain. Fine get off here, Jalen Smith as the rush defensive end right here, or the rush linebacker, takes a good angle on him, absolutely smothers his pass rush move. Another passing rep against 94, another good angle he takes right here, good get off, respects the inside there first, flip his hips, keep one arm on him, drive him backwards. Power QB read, and you have Jordan Mailata coming in right here, and he will be the lead blocker in the A gap, taking on Jalen Smith, pushing him back 5 yards once again to get Miles Anderson for the score. Roll out for Jalen Hurts, and Jordan Mailata will be the backside left tackle on this play, taking on Eldon Smith right here, has him all the way, and then finishes really nicely, throwing him to the ground. Really good rep. Zone right again, and once again, it's a really good push by Mailata on the defensive tackle in between here. Another good leverage, really good push, keep driving. See, there you see the aggressiveness that we want. Power to the left side, and you would like Jordan Mailata to simply just seal off Eldon Smith right here. Be a little bit aggressive on him. See, he gets the seal here, but then he just sort of stalls. You'd like him to get a little bit of a push, because what ends up happening is that his lack of aggressiveness will make him stand in the way of Miles Sanders in the gap right there. Zone read to the left side, we have Jordan Mailata once again on Jalen Smith. Really good hands placement on him right here. And the hip explosion as he's placing his hands. See, right here you see he's exploding his hips as he's putting his hands on him. Gets him leveled from the ground. Really good job. Against Eldon Smith on a bull rush move, good angle he takes on him right here. He's good in a good position taking on the inside and outside, but he needs to get his feet planted as he's taking on the bull rush. He doesn't, so he gets pushed back a little bit here. Regathers well with his one arm here and plants his foot backwards there. Good power, and then holds him up for 3 seconds to give Hurts way enough time. Zone left and a really bad punch on Eldon Smith right here. Leans forward and really good swipe by Eldon, and Mailata's way out of there. Decent pass rep here, setting up deep, but keeping the angle and is relating his initial steps to the rush angle of the defensive end right here. So yes, he's coming up here, good flip of the hips, keep one arm on him, drive backwards. This is one my lad would absolutely like to have back. We're actually seeing some of the same trends that we've been seeing earlier in the game. And the first thing is a too deep of a set. See, he's coming out, he's really dedicated to the outside, and the inside is really vulnerable. A beautiful swipe by Gregory right here to beat him inside. Mailata cannot regather on this one and gives up the sack and the fumble. Follows it up with a decent rep against 94 right here. Not the best hand placement at all. So he kind of grabs a little bit of his back jersey here. Somewhat of a hold, you could argue, but he really just holds him up, holds him straight into him, so he never gets to any side, hence not the hold. And finishes it off with a really good rep right here where he gives some inside help there initially and then goes outside, knows he has some help, and a really good block on Gregory to put him on his butt. This time we're faking the QB power with Somalo and Mailata. They'll be coming out here pulling once again, but we're going to hand it off to Miles Sanders this time, and you're going to see Mailata come out here once again up on Jalen Smith. Boom. Sometimes it feels like Jordan Mailata actually plays better when he doesn't get chip blocks because it confuses the angle that he's usually setting and that he's learned to take right here. So when you get the chip block from Ertz, the defensive end is naturally going a little bit more upfield. But Mailata overcompensates for that, so the inside is a little bit more susceptible to him right there. And it's usually something we see when he gets chip blocks instead of just relating to the guy and taking him right on. Really good rapid pass protection here against Eldon Smith, who's going to come in once again in a rush, the bull rush right here. He's going to set up deep and then take his outside foot planted, go into Mailata, and he takes it on really well right here. Does not give up any ground, good hands placement, and keep at him. Really good rep against Randy Gregory off the edge, where he got a pressure earlier in the game. And this time we see a little bit better coordination of him here. So he takes a really good get off here, good punch, and then he follows it through well and sprints downfield to get him upfield at the end. Fine rep here against Eldon Smith. Initially he wants to go a little inside, so his first step, a little subtle inside step for him as well. Get the engage on him and then drive him upfield as he wants to. He's going to counter that with a hand swipe, try to go inside again, and Mailata follows that up well. Zone left, and I'd like him to get a lot more push than he does at this rep right here. He basically just takes on his guy, and then he does this thing again where he stalls. Instead of just plowing forward, stalls a little bit there. More aggressive, please. Toss to Sanders on the outside. We're going to have Mailata here. He's going to be a lead blocker getting out there in space. Now, the angle that he takes on Sean is okay right here, but he's sort of getting a little bit outrun. Doesn't get his arms forward in time enough to actually get him on Sean. and Sean Lee makes the play. Really good angle by, I think it's Gregory here at 94 against Mailata off the edge. He's going to come up here, take a really deep angle right here, and then come inside with a really good swipe so Mailata can't get his hands on him, and then he's beat and gives up the pressure. This is what happens when you don't take the correct steps relative to the rush angle of the defensive end. He's going to take a kick slide here. Gregory is going to go inside, so he'd have to overcompensate for that. And then he spins out of it. Really good counter move by Gregory. And Mailata will have to turn right here. It does not become a pretty rep, but somehow he's able to actually save this rep. Well, he's completely out of balance, takes the wrong initial step, but still manages to get back there and make the block to make this big play a possibility. Good pass rep here against 97. He's not going to do any fancy counter moves, and a really good punch on him initially holds him up. Pass protection against 58. Want to see a good get off once again right here. Has a good angle to him. Takes him on well, a little bit backtracking, but sets up well after. On the next rep against 97, once again a good initial punch on him. Good angle relative to the rush lane. But the inside counter for the defensive end is a little bit too much there. It gets a little inside, but it's a good punch, second punch from Mailata to not give up the pressure. So onto the right side, and it's a decent push for Mailata right here. Seumalo gets a little bit out of balance. You'd like him to transition up to the linebacker right here, but he's out of balance in that situation. So Mailata is not sure whether to take on Smith or take on the defensive tackle, and it's a good gain on the play, but a little bit better synchronization from these two. First play we saw Jordan Mailata going up against Jalen Smith was on this QB power where he'll be pulling to the other side right here. So Malo will make the initial contact, and then Mailata will come in here and finish him up, push him to the ground about 5 yards downfield, and then take on a guy in the secondary. On the outside here, it's a quick game, and he's lucky as that because the punch that he gets on right here is really bad, out of balance, and he gets speed with good hands from Aldon Smith. Trap right for the Eagles, decent block here from Mailata. It's not a key block on the running play, but it's good power he delivers on his punch. Taking a little bit of a too deep step on the rush angle from Aldon Smith right here. So when he goes inside, it becomes a little bit unbalanced for Jordan Mailata. He does regather well, but he's a little bit out of balance on this rep right here as he is going back inside to regather from the initial move. Split zone right for the Eagles, and Mailata once again here would like him to have a little bit more aggressive of a punch right here instead of just holding up his guy. You need to really punch him to allow Seumalo to get up there in open space, and the guy ultimately ends up making the tackle.